Unfortunately, not everyone is lucky enough to win a multi-million-dollar lottery jackpot. So for the rest of us, we have to learn how to assemble the building blocks to hopefully one day achieve financial success. Our great friend of the show, money expert, J.B. the Builder Bryant is
That's
here.
right.
And going to pass on some great tips. This is a tough topic, so let's start at the beginning about success and what it takes.
Well, really, it entails, I like this topic because it's about the person who started with nothing and built something. Not the person that was born into multi-millions of dollars like you, Bill, but just the average person who just did not have anything or started their career with negative. That's the way I think of mine. When you have school loans and you're starting out the block, you're starting with negative. But how do you change that? How do you get your mindset correct? So the first step, I believe, and this is from some research of just talking to people, asking people throughout my career, what has helped you become so successful? Also, Fidelity did a study on millionaires, and the millionaires actually shared that not the majority, but over 40% of them said that they didn't really feel wealthy with $1 million. They felt that if they had multiple millions, somewhere near 10 million, they would feel wealthy. So I think your mindset,
yeah, me too.
That's right. So your mindset needs to be on not just $1 million, like we've done a discussion, we've talked about thinking like a millionaire, but now we're talking about thinking like a multi-millionaire when you really don't have anything or didn't start with anything. And it's the first step is to get your mindset right and know that it's okay to think about things that you couldn't even imagine maybe years ago, but creating an imagination full of multiple millions of dollars, and it is possible.
You always see interviews with successful people. One of the first questions is, when you first started out, did you see yourself here? And some of them say, I didn't have a clue.
That's right.
And some of them say, oh, yeah.
That's right.
I mean, it's a kind of a split there. And you're talking about people that
have to see themselves there.
Yeah, you got to visualize it.
That's right. I remember this comedian, and he said he wrote a check to himself, and it was like he was going to cash it in a year or so, and it was like for $2 million. And he actually got that great big movie deal right at the date that year later. And it does happen, but we have to have that mindset.
All right, let's talk where we're going to put value. And I noticed one of them at the top is something that none of us seem to have any of, and that's time.
Time.
Yeah.
So when you have that multi-million-dollar mindset, you realize that time is more valuable than money. So they're spending all of their time productively. And there's a bad rumor that's out, is that that they don't work hard. That you see these people and you think that they don't work hard, but the truth of the matter is they work very hard and they work all the time. And they've made a commitment that the process is what makes it enjoyable. If you have to enjoy the process, like you mentioned the lottery, well, I don't play the lottery because I enjoy the process. I enjoy the development of wealth over time.
Well, you're a perfect example of that. I mean, you're a grinder. You got what they call a high motor. You're going all the time,
creating ideas all the time.
Yeah. So hard work is a big part of it.
Hard work is real, and it does take that commitment to it, and it also entails, how do you spend that time? So another step for a multimillionaire is to focus on the forest and not just a tree. They have to develop multiple forms of income. They have to say that I can't depend on just one thing for income. So how do I create additional income? Even if they might have a corporate job, but they also want to create investment opportunities, so they invest each month. And they also might want to have some rental properties for rental income. And they may have a business on the side as well.
Risk takers, and they are risk takers, but when you take a risk, you have to say, well, this is risk, so maybe I need something over here to cover just in case this risk falls through.
But to become when you have nothing, to become a multi-million financial person, you cannot focus on security at all. You have to be the type of person that will put it all on the table. There's a story, one of my professors that retired from FedEx when it first started. He said that they couldn't make payroll. They took every dime they had and they went to Vegas. They put it all on the table and they made payroll, and they're still here. Like, you know, and that was like 30 years ago when he told me the story, and they're still here. But that was when they were first starting out. They were like, what are we going to do?
Literally rolling the dice.
What are we going to do? And everything for the multi-million-dollar mindset, everything they see, they don't spend money, they invest money. Everything is an investment. When they buy a vehicle, it's not to be cozy and cute. They buy a vehicle that is going to create income for them. So they'll actually buy a utility vehicle, or they'll buy an airplane because they're going to use it to make deliveries. We look at superstars and they have an airplane. We don't see it that is a tax deductible expense for them. And that is to get them to where they're going faster. Yeah. Maybe they can do 2 shows in a day because they have their own airplane. So they can do more deliveries because they have an airplane. And so everything, so you want to stop spending and start investing. Look at every dollar.
Every dollar is an investment in the future and getting you to that forest of multi-millions.
Yes, indeed, that forest that you've created, because I mean, if we just look at it literally, if you have one tree and you want to go into paper production, that you're much better off if you have a whole bunch of trees.
You make one sheet of paper.
So when you cut down one tree, you have another tree there. You cut down another tree, you have other trees there, and you grow back. You make that investment back into it by growing additional trees. But the point there is to make sure that you have multiple sources of income, that you have your attitude right, that you value your time, and that every dime that you spend is you're actually investing.
Darn it, we're out of time, and I got to go out back and check my little sapling that's growing back there, and it's not even a tree yet. Thanks to our friend J.B. Bryant. She offers money seminars every Wednesday at noon and every Sunday at 3 p.m. The girl works 24/7 for business owners. The workshops are free, but pre-registration is required.